Let's do it.
Hey everybody, welcome to Chatting with Wild Eye. I got the best guest ever, one of my favorites,
Ben.
my most favorite NWO member, Mr. Buff Bagwell. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on, brother? I'm just glad to be here and Ben. I'm just glad to be here and looking forward to doing this. Yeah.
So how you feeling? How's your body?
Dude, everything's going really good. It's been a slow a slow healing process. But it's definitely where it's going to be 100% in my mind. Yeah. I've never not been able to come back 100%. So I'm like, instead of the cat of 9 lives, I'm like the cat of 18 lives, So no doubt I'll make it back and I'm be, above this stuff one more time.
Yeah, well, you've been through a lot in your life and all that. It's been pretty rough, but you're pretty amazing to be standing, to be still doing. Like after both those car accidents and all the injuries from wrestling.
Dude, I mean, I completely crushed my whole face in 9 years ago on the other car wreck.
Yeah.
I mean, the doctor didn't let me hear about it, but she had to get my mom to the side and goes, look, by the looks of everybody in this room, your son's a pretty good looking guy. I mean, his wife's gorgeous and, the family's good looking. And so, but I don't know that. And I look like death warmed over. So my mom had to go home and find a good picture. And the doctor went by the picture to put my face back together.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's how bad you were?
Yeah. So I said, Mom, make it a good one. Make it a good one, please.
How many surgeries?
It really was just 4. Okay. But it was the most bizarre surgery I've ever had because it was they go up in your gums like this. They go up in here because I had plates. I had a plate here, here, here. I broke my occipital bone, and I had one like down here. So it just was very nervy and it felt weird. But the weirdest part was where they stitched it back to my gum. My lip felt like it was an inch too short. And an inch on your face is a lot.
Yeah.
So I was like, what in the hell? I mean, I was constantly going, stretching it, getting down, and just, I was so depressed about it. And then finally it loosened up and came down and it worked. And the doctor did a great job. And I came out of it again, the cat of 18 lives.
Yeah, you had what, broken ribs and other bones broken at the same time?
Yeah, on this car wreck here was liver was lacerated. My spleen was lacerated.
Yeah.
I broke my ribs. I broke my nose. The worst part of this wreck was I completely destroyed my patellar tendon.
Oh. Ouch.
So they had to go in
Yeah.
and cut me on my calf and pull part of my calf muscle up to my patellar tendon, which holds your kneecap in place,
Yeah.
and create a new patellar tendon,
Oh.
and then say, walk. I'm
Wow.
like, wait a minute, whoa, what? And then, of course, just when it rains, it pours. I got staph.
Oh.
So every third day, I had to go get what was called a washout,
Yeah.
because they can't close it up. Staph heals from the inside out.
Yeah.
And if you sew it up, it's gonna get infected again. So so we just kept, day one you felt like crap. Day two, got maybe one meal in. Day three was right back to the washout. And
Wow.
they call that a surgery. So by God, I'm gonna call it a surgery.
Yeah.
So I was there 7 weeks. So I had 21 surgeries.
Oh man.
And I was in so much pain. I thought I had faced pain. This was different, bro. This was beyond pain. I can't explain it. And of course, with the COVID, everybody's a nurse. Every nurse is a doctor.
Yep.
They know everything, and I made sure before I went in that I was going to get everything that I was going to get. I
Yeah.
wasn't going to lay there and hurt for 7 weeks. So the first thing that happened is the nurse came in, and I had a dilated pump,
Yeah.
and it goes off like every 8 minutes or so. And she goes, I said, it's time for my oral. And she goes, oh, you don't get orals with pumps.
Huh.
And I said, well, I can reach right over here and pick this phone up, and I'm going to embarrass you, and I don't want to.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be here for a while together. I said, so I'm trying my best not to make it bad, but if you push it, I'm going to make a call, and you're going to be embarrassed.
Yeah.
She pushed it and said, nobody in this hospital has ever been on a machine of pain and also took an oral with it.
Wow.
So of course, she says no. I reach over, make the phone call. Buff Daddy does. Says, hold on 1 second. Hand the phone to the nurse, and the nurse goes, but they argued for a minute, and then finally, keep in mind he's a doctor and she's not. So she had to bring me my pill.
Wow.
So needless to say, we didn't talk much anymore. But the good news is, after 2 weeks of going through every shift change I could go through,
Yeah.
it takes about 2 weeks to get all the nurses,
Yeah.
And I said, they got to where they just said, listen, that room right there, just give him what he wants, because he's going to get it anyway.
Of course.
So, yeah. So long story short, I had no problems after that. It was just watch Gunsmoke and Andy Griffith in 7 weeks, man.
There you go. Relax time with pain, though, unfortunately.
Yes.
I'm sorry you had to go through that, but I guess
Yeah, it was rough.
depression is pretty bad.
And you know what's weird is I mean, I had a buddy of mine that brought it to my attention. He said, me and my girlfriend cannot get along for 5 minutes. And every day I talk to you, and you're just chipper in a good mood with everything that's going on, and you're in a good mood. And you've got, I mean, dude, I was in so much pain.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a surgery?
Yeah, I've had both my knees done.
Okay. You know, you've got to, they bring you down in your chair,
Yeah.
and then you scoot over on the operating table.
Yeah.
Well, I was in so much pain that I couldn't scoot over to the operating table.
Wow.
So they had to put me out in the bed they brought me down in, and then move me over.
Wow.
It was rough, man. It was really rough.
And the meds that you were addicted to weren't helping anymore?
Huh?
The pills that you were addicted to, they weren't helping you anymore?
No, they were helping. It's just if my knee did not line up with my ankle,
Yeah.
and my ankle didn't line up with my shin, and didn't do all of it exactly perfect, it was just torturous.
Yeah.
And the very first time before they started putting me out and putting me in the bed, the person dropped my foot.
Oh.
Oh my
Ouch.
God. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. About a 2 foot drop. And,
Holy shit.
and I mean, tears, I'm not kidding you, tears shot from my eyes. I was in so much pain. So from that point on, they started giving me, nerve blocks, and, and for my hip, and just block all the knee and stuff. But they can only do so many of those, because, you can't, mess with that, or you'll lose feeling forever in your hip. So we did as much as we could, but it was pretty limited, and it got to where it didn't work anyway. And so it was just tolerable, is all it was. It was just tolerable.
Wow, man. See, people don't understand stuff like that unless they go through it. And
No, brother. No, they don't. They don't, bro. This is a big deal. This is a biggie.
well, it's like what you said. Everybody's a doctor, everybody's a nurse, or
Yes, everybody knows what's going on, right?
yeah. Well, I know because we have a lot of issues with the COVID. We lost my dad in December because of it. And we have people sitting there, oh, COVID's not real. And he was sick with COPD. He was going to die anyway. So what the hell? Oh, fuck. If it wasn't for COVID, we could have kept my dad for another couple of years. Like,
Wow.
who the fuck are you to tell me that he would have died anyways?
Right.
So anyway,
I'm guessing this was before they knew a whole lot about it, right?
no, it's people still going on about it now, thinking that it's still
Oh,
fake. They don't realize that it's actually killing people.
oh, no lawsuit or nothing.
No, can't. It,
Wow, dude. I'm sorry. That's
well,
horrible.
people are arrogant and bastards. I don't know. I don't like people very much. I stick with you watching you guys wrestle and
Yes,
talking to you guys. You guys make more sense than anything.
absolutely. That's what's true. I mean, when you get, the guys like NWO and the DX and all the stars that are out there with wrestling, I mean, you really do got some really cool guys, and it makes for one hell of a show. It really does. And now you got AEW, which is bringing back old WCW, WWF vibes.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to get maybe a WWE, an AEW, all elite wrestling chance, and we'll see.
Yeah.
So just got by my time, I got about 2 months left before I'll be able to really hit the ropes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm about 2 months away.
Wow. Hopefully we see you on AEW. It was lovely.
Yeah. My problem is I've got I've of course when I was younger, I made all my friends were the best.
Yeah.
I had Sting, I had Luger. I mean, I had Kevin Nash, I had Scott Hall, I had the top of the top. I mean, there was nothing going to hurt me.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Lex goes to a wheelchair. Sting goes Christian.
Yeah.
And nothing wrong with that, but still, it changed his thought. Yeah. And all of a sudden, everybody I was cussing is now in control.
Yeah, pretty
so,
much.
I mean, here's Conrad. For some reason, 83 weeks, I sure as hell am on that show a lot. I don't know why I'm on that show so much, but I mean, my God. I mean, if I'm such a bad wrestler, how come I'm on that show getting talked about constantly? And then, dude, in 83 weeks ain't no joke. I mean, that's a year and a half.
Yeah.
I mean, that's almost 2 years, bro, and so we had to act like we flew in on a private jet with Eric.
Yeah.
And we had to high five that we beat him again. We beat him for 83 consecutive weeks.
Yeah.
And we high fived. But then after we high fived in front of Eric, we kind of would go, we don't need this. We need two companies.
Yeah.
We can't lose that other company. So, competition brings money. I mean, I went from $1 million a year,
yeah,
175,000, bro.
Oh, wow.
I mean, keep in mind, 175,000. If you don't cry and complain and moan and groan, you're rich.
Yeah.
But not when you're making $1 million a year, bro. I mean, there went the house, there went the Jag, there went 2 of my 3 Harleys, and so, but I still have another run left in me, and I got a going left in me if they'll just let me do it. So hopefully will give me a chance, and Sting's there, and they'll give me a chance to come back out and give it one more go.
I don't see why not. The guy who's in charge is is Dusty Rhodes' son.
Yes.
And you were trained by Dusty.
Yes, and Dusty hired me. So
yeah,
and Cody's a good guy.
Brilliant.
We've only met briefly once, but he went to a school that I could have gone to. I was in the middle of Sprayberry and Lassiter, but Lassiter didn't have football and baseball the first 2 years.
Yeah.
So I wasn't going to go without playing baseball and football. I was all county, all state in football and baseball.
Really?
And my parents were filthy rich in the lumber business.
Yeah.
So I went to school only to play ball. I knew what I was going to do after school. I was going to go work for the lumber yard. Yeah. And my senior year, my brothers just ran it in the ground, and there was nowhere for Mark to make his mark, so to speak, no pun intended. There was nowhere to make my mark. Yeah. And then of all things, the rookie me, ends up supporting the whole family.
Wow.
So, it worked. And we stayed family, when you start dealing with money and family, it gets a little shaky,
Yeah.
and it can fall apart pretty quick. But we actually had a very good time. We stayed together. We loved each other. We still do. We're real good friends. My mom is going through dementia right now,
Oh,
and she's
sorry.
having a hard time with that. So just trying to get everything, back in line. And like I said, there's just, I mean, I can do anything they ask me to do, and they want to act like, oh God, we don't have any storylines for you.
Yeah.
You give me the microphone and let me talk. My God, you got Triple H that had to screw a cheerleader that was dead in a casket to get heat.
Yeah.
All I got to do is walk out with a microphone. So I'm saying that they didn't want to give me, it was just too much. I was the first one in, and I was really laid back. And keep in mind, here's your chance to be in the WWF. I'm not going to blow it.
Yeah.
And the rumors started flying of my mom called in and said I couldn't wrestle. Now, why would I wrestle Booker T with 25 staples in my head?
Yeah.
And then call up and go, hey, I'm not going to be able to make the house shows. I'll see you on Monday. So it's just stupid. It just didn't make sense. And what didn't make sense was the next week was Atlanta.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't we just wait for 1 week and put Booker T and Buff Bagwell in Atlanta, and you've got one hell of a show?
But did you not see it coming though? Because
we saw it coming. Yeah, we knew it was over. We knew
Yeah.
we knew in Tacoma. We didn't know it was over, but we knew in Tacoma that there was more to it. There was just more
Yeah.
to it.
Well,
Or like I said, it's called the invasion.
yeah.
And what do? We invade in Tacoma, Washington.
Yeah.
Why not invade in Ted Turner's backyard? Right?
Yeah.
So we knew something was up, but at the same time, your main event, Monday Night Raw main event, your first match, and you just try to, don't stir the crap and just go with the flow, and we did so. And
But you were just thrown out pretty much. If you watch back, me and my brother watched that match right after you told them about it. And you got beaten up by Stone Cold. You got beaten up by Kurt Angle, the two greatest at the time. And
right.
that was it for you. I threw you out the door and that was it.
That's it.
I watched it as like, okay, I should have seen it coming at that point.
Yeah.
Like
unbelievable.
They threw you out like you're a piece of garbage.
Yeah, piece of garbage. And like I said, we knew that wasn't good. Why wouldn't we just wait a week and make the invasion, in Ted Turner's backyard in Atlanta, Georgia?
Yeah.
And so me and Booker are backstage talking like this, because we don't want nobody to read our mind or read our lips or anything, and we're just kind of talking. And I go, "What's going on, bro? What's up?" And he goes, "I don't know, man, but this ain't good." Keep in mind, none of us had a job at this stage. Nobody. They brought in 12 guys. Out of that 12, 3 were names: Dallas, Booker, and myself.
Yeah.
And the other 9 were your, your Stasiaks, your Gendraks, your O'Haras. I mean, guys that could work, but still not mainstream stars on your show.
Yeah.
So, it was just weird for them not just to wait a week and then put it out there and let's go get them on Monday night, and Atlanta, Georgia. And then this is the best part. This is the best part of all. My music is playing. My music starts playing and I'm getting ready to come out. And I'm like, I go like this for the curtain. And right when I get right here, Shane McMahon's right there. Huh. And Shane goes, "Oh, Mark, I forgot to tell you, we don't look in the camera here." Uh-huh. And I go, "Have you ever seen me wrestle before?" I said, "All I do is pose and look in the camera."
Yeah.
I said, "That's all I do." I said, "So what are you talking about?" So he goes, "Can't do it." So that threw us totally all sync right there. I mean, wow. You talking about, I had conquered bring the camera, when the camera was out, I'd bring the camera into me and talk to the camera. And because I learned real quick that there was 40 million people right here.
Yeah.
And there was 40,000 right here. Well, I went for the 40 million, and the guys didn't want me to do it. The agents didn't want me to do it. And then finally the suits came down and go, "Whatever Bagwell wants to do, you let him do it."
Wow.
And the agents were like, "You little bastard, you got your way." And yeah. So it really just, it kind of pissed them off and didn't do no good. Just, but still, it comes out to having to, like I said, do you think he forgot all day and just at the very end there told me about the camera? He knew that all day long, dude.
Yeah.
So he comes up and says, "Can't look in the camera." And I said, and I fought it for a minute. I said, "Shane," I go, "that's all I do." I said, "I look in the camera. I'm entertaining in the camera, and I tell a little story, and I pose, and I put out a great match." Yeah. I said, "So, I don't understand." He goes, "Can't do it here. Can't do it here."
That's
so from that point, if you watch that match back over, watch me walk down the aisle. I am dodging that camera like it's the plague. I mean, I'm so scared because keep in mind, I'm trying to get a job at WWF.
Yeah.
It wasn't WWE yet. It was still WWF. So I'm doing everything I can do to do the right thing. And they, they just kept on and so I didn't know what to do. I really didn't know what to do. So I just became out of character and didn't know what to do and wasn't my typical self and then the invasion was, ooh, rocker, real shocker there here. We're in Tacoma, Washington, with Booker T and Buff Bagwell when we could have waited a week and had a hell of a match in Atlanta, Georgia,
I think they sabotaged you from the beginning, though.
Yeah, and that's what it was, and they even said that they wasn't firing me. They said that they were releasing me.
Okay.
And I had to raise my hand. I raised my hand and I go, And Vince goes, Mark, you ain't got to raise your hand. And I go, Vince, I go, what's the difference of you releasing me and firing me? What's the difference?
Yeah.
And them motherfuckers had an answer quicker than you can fucking say your name. And when that happened, I said, I'll tell you what they said in a minute, but right when that happened and they explained the released and fired,
Yeah.
I said, start shaking hands, smiling, and get in your car and go home.
Wow.
Because it was over.
Yeah.
But what happened is we went out there and didn't get the camera thing and just was completely out of my realm. And there was nobody doing that.
Yeah.
I was the only one talking into the camera. I was the only person doing it.
Wow.
And so it threw me totally off. And then, not to mention, people wanted to believe that Judy Bagwell was calling for her son not to go make Atlanta towns. In other words, when you do Atlanta Nitro or Atlanta Raw, you do like Augusta, Birmingham, Macon, and then you come back home for Atlanta.
Yeah.
And that's how you did it, and so I just couldn't believe it. It was just too much, man.
Jim Ross.
Yeah, Jim Ross. I subtracted half of my contract and did not get any raise whatsoever. Act like I had no raise.
Yeah.
And you times that by 10 years, and that's, 20 years, and that's $10 million Jim Ross cost me.
Wow.
I mean, bro, come on, man. So then when the thing came back around with the WWE network thing, I thought, okay, well, here it is. Here's my shining light. I'm going to get a chance to, go on the show and be able to, get my money back there. And
yeah,
because believe it or not, guess what you got? Guess what the payment was for WWE Network?
100 grand.
$87,000 a week.
Wow.
Yeah. So I really thought, hey, this is fair. I got screwed, and they're trying to make it, okay, and it's not. And so that was the way out of it. And so they just, Jim Ross and me had, of course, he said, I like Mark. I'm big friends with Mark. I'm huge friends with Mark. Well, he forgot that he's got that 3-disc round table.
Yeah.
Where he rips me a new asshole.
Wow.
I mean, dogs me out, dogs my mom, dogs everybody. Says I'm barely an average worker, and they just dogs me out. And so it was just meant to be.
Yeah. Yeah, you haven't had another run-in I saw on Facebook with he's actually a friend of mine. I don't talk to him though. Alan Funk. He posted a video of you guys.
Yeah. We had a falling out. I was watching with my. I got a podcast that I go on every week, and me and Alan were always good friends. I mean, we wasn't like super friends, but we were good friends. And he went out and got his face landed on. I can't remember. Was it Scorpio that did it?
I can't remember.
But somebody landed on his face and did some pretty good damage. I mean,
Yeah.
and I think he had it twice. I think it happened twice. I think, and so we're talking, and I'm listening. I'm listening to their podcast. Him and Adam Sanders. I mean Brian Sanders.
Yeah.
And I always get that name wrong. Is it Brian Sanders? Is that right?
Brian or Ryan? I don't know.
The other kid that was with Kiwi, something.
Yeah,
Sanders.
I know who you're talking about.
Mike Sanders.
Oh yeah, okay. From
New Blood.
Yeah, New Blood.
Yeah. So, and he was good and all that. And so they obviously don't know me at all to go on a podcast and drill me inside and out to think that I'm not going to do some kind of repercussion. And his exact words were, he goes, I told Rex must have been the promoter, because I don't know a Rex. I write down who pays me and what city I'm in and how much money I'm getting paid and so on and so forth. And so they go in, and Alan goes, if you remember, I was supposed to wrestle Bagwell that night to Sanders. Now I'm watching this with my podcast guy, and he wants me to see it for the first time. And he knows that my rebuttal is going to be absolutely off the chain and rip him apart. And so he comes up and says, if you remember, I told Rex that if I had to wrestle Bagwell, I was just going to kick his ass.
Wow.
And that's all it took. I said, listen, you motherfucker. I said, for starters, it looks like your fucking face has been landed on twice. I said, you look like a piece of fucking shit. I said, no wonder your wife fucking left you.
Wow.
I said, your fucking wife left you. I said, Sanders, do you have a fucking mirror in your house? You're wearing a medium and the neck is baggy on your neck. I'm begging you to gain some fucking weight. I goes, Funk, you need to get off the shit. And Sanders, you need to get on the shit. God damn, man, y'all look like Bonnie and Clyde. Y'all look like two fucking idiots. I said, my God, dude, do something about it. So I just stay on them for 30 minutes straight of just blitzing them, and just how they were never nobody. They were just a couple of jobbers. Kiwi played a fag on television, licking a lollipop. I mean, my God, can you imagine being a fag on TV? I mean, come on, man. I mean, I'm not even homophobic, yeah. But the last thing you really like to be in pro wrestling is a fag. And so he's got lollipops, and I can't remember the guy's name. They had the mullet kind of hair, orange hair, kind of.
I can't remember too much.
And they would do lollipops and like do lollipops like fags. And I just couldn't believe it, you know. And so finally, I went back and forth on drilling both of them. And I said, Mike, I said, I can't even say your neck looks like a stack of dimes because it's skinnier than a stack of dimes. I said, my God, buddy. I said, just do me a favor. Look in the camera. I'm 51 years old, which is older than both of y'all. I said, and I don't need anybody to tell me I look better than both of you motherfuckers. I said, so I don't have any idea what y'all are thinking to think I wasn't going to have some kind of rebuttal.
Yeah.
I said, and y'all just kept on coming at it. I said, so you got what you got coming to you. And I said, and let me help you out a little bit. I go 404-844-9561 fucking 1. I said, that's my number. I said, I'll meet you at the mailbox. I said, and I will beat your fucking brains out and put the car in drive and let you drive off unconscious in your fucking car. I said, you fucking with me have got no fucking idea who you're fucking with, bro. And Sanders, I said the same thing about him, but he was a little bit nicer. And me and Sanders were actually pretty good friends. And he was married to a girl named Mandy. And believe it or not, I had Mandy under my phone as Mandy, the ring rat girl. And she saw it out at the club one night we were at.
Yeah.
And she was, I can't believe you got me down as a groupie. I can't believe it. And I said, well, would you rather me say you're my fucking bitch? So on my phone, I swear to God, and I'll show you, I've got Mandy, my bitch. That's the honest to God truth. I'll show you right here. And let him know that again. I said, dude, you're hanging out with people like that. I said, don't even know, I don't even care for you. And they're overhitting on me. I said, Mandy's been trying to fuck me for 10 years. I said, behind your back, in front of your back. I said, and you're just too big of a pussy to realize it. I said, so I just don't have no respect for you whatsoever. But let me see this right here. I'll show you. It'll blow your mind. Okay, Mandy. And you know, I didn't have time to make this up. I didn't have time to fix it or nothing. Look. Can you read that?
No, it better come up. Oh, it's blurry. Oh yeah.
Mandy, my bitch.
Yeah.
Mandy,
Wow.
my bitch. I mean, is there any worse? Can you be dogged out any worse than that?
Wow.
Mandy, you're my bitch. and so I dogged him out more, and then so finally we're at a show in Dalton, and a little rinky-dink show. The only reason I went is a guy was going to give me $500 to be able to put my wrestling tights on and take some pictures in it.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have gone. And so I went and did that, and real nice guy. And so we're up there, and he's, of all things, directly across from my table.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he goes, "Hey, Buff, before you leave, we got to talk." And I go, "About what?" And he goes, "You know about what?" And I go, "Dude, I ain't got fucking nothing to say to you." I said, "You're a fucking bitch." "I ain't no bitch." Here's a guy 5 feet away that has dogged him out so bad and then calls him a bitch, and he don't walk over to do nothing about it.
Yeah, I saw the video. They were yelling at you and swearing at your
Yeah. I mean, think about it for a minute. Be Buff Bagwell. How can I win? There's no winning. I mean, your girlfriend is my bitch. You ran your mouth and don't got any proof of no video of it. Just a story y'all made up of a girl that I'm holding a baby. And I mean, is it true? Probably, but they got no proof of it. And then Kiwi just insisted on saying, "If you put me in the ring with Bagwell, I'm just going to kick his ass."
Yeah.
And I said, "Bro," I said, you don't know where you're going at here. You're and keep in mind, they can't hear me talking.
Yeah.
I just hear their promo on their podcast, and then I give my podcast back on them.
Yeah.
And then that leads all the way to Dalton of him saying, "Hey, I want to see you before you leave." And me go, "Bro, I got nothing to say to you, because keep in mind, I'm on a crutch.
Yeah.
If he beats me up, he beats up a guy on a crutch. I mean, it's just a no-win situation. It's not a good situation for him to bring it up and even be that cocky about it. And then you bury yourself by being 10 feet away from me, and I call him a bitch. I go, "You are a bitch." And he goes, "I'm a bitch, you're a bitch." Oh God, here we go. "I'm a bitch, you're a bitch, I'm a bitch, you're a bitch." Look, motherfucker, you're a bitch. I called you a bitch and you didn't do a fucking thing about it. Nothing. Zero. And to be honest with you, you can't do anything anymore. So this ain't trying to be cool. This is, if you get in trouble, you just go to jail.
Yeah.
If I just poke him on the chest, that's simple battery.
Yeah.
And so, I was trying to keep it calm by not losing my name, by saying, "You're a bitch," "I ain't a bitch, you're a bitch." I mean, what are we in a sandbox here?
Yeah.
I mean, it just kind of ridiculous.
Little children must play though.
Yes. Yeah. But it'll come a day where it'll come a day where I'm healthy and he's out and he'll get his teeth down his throat.
Yeah. You have anybody else that you hate that much from wrestling?
I didn't hate anybody in this business until that. Somebody, for starters, it's a fucking lie. I can't stand liars.
Yeah.
He would have never, ever, 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 never said, "If you put me in the ring with Bagwell, I'm going to kick his ass."
Yeah.
You know it. I know it. The world knows it. He didn't fucking say that. And just wanted to act tough and cool and be cool and it just was kind of, it was just kind of embarrassing. Like I said, if I beat him up, I was supposed to beat him up in the first place. If he beats me up, he beats up with a guy on a crutch. So it just ain't going nowhere, you know?
Yeah.
So but it'll be, I promise you, I don't forget very easily at all.
Well, I
At
noticed that.
all.
Yeah.
I just do not forget. And that will stay there until there is a ending and a repercussion that has him laying flat on his back, bleeding profusely, and got at least 4 teeth knocked out of his mouth. Then I'll be satisfied.
Yeah. Well, you never know. Going about that, what was it like working with Buff, not Buff, with Big Papa Pump?
Oh man, that was great. That was great. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys look like you guys grew a really good friendship.
Yeah, he really was a great guy, dude. Um he just, you know, God, we just hit it off. Everything we did, we just did. I mean, everything we did great. I mean, it really was. I mean, it was good stuff. I mean, who burns Martin McGuire's jersey? You know, the day after he wins the home run record.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, anything we could do that was to the extreme, we had the okay to do it.
Yeah.
And did it.
Were you guys that way backstage? Like, were you guys?
We would keep in mind, you know, being at the Kemper Arena in St. Louis, you know, there's a little bit of luck involved because he broke the record the day before. But Owen, the week before,
Yeah.
he fell and killed himself.
Yeah.
So Sting didn't want to do any kind of, you know, tribute of, you know, repelling down and all that. And so we just hung Sting upside down by one leg and just beat him up, you know, and threw him in the ring, and they dumped like 10,000 gallons of red dye into the ring, you know, and that was when the new blood was happening, you know.
Yeah, I checked. I remember watching that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Well, so what got them to put you into the NWO? Was it to put you with Big Papa Pump to begin with, or?
No, believe it or not, Eric Bischoff was not a big fan of mine.
Yeah.
He wasn't a big fan at all. And me and Kevin go way back. Me and Kevin Nash go way back. Kevin Nash was number one bouncer in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I don't want to sound cool or anything, but I mean, I was kind of the cool kid in Atlanta, you know?
Yeah.
Here's 7 foot tall, 350 trying to make it in wrestling. Here's 6 foot, you know, 200 pounds trying to make it in wrestling.
Yeah.
And we just talked about it and everything and tried to make it work. But you know, his first gimmick, I don't know if you remember, it was called Master Blaster.
Yeah.
And it was him and Al Green. And they came out as like bikers. They came out as bikers, and you know, just, you know, it didn't really get nowhere, but still it was good. And you know, and keep in mind, Kevin, my God, what a run he had. I mean, I mean, he was going from doing jobs to Marcus Alexander Bagwell
Yeah.
to Diesel. I mean, come on, man. I mean, yeah, you know, that's a big push, and Razor Ramon too. And then they had that thing where they came to us, and then God, it was
Oh, they worked their asses off to get where they are, or where they were anyways.
yes, yes. And then of course, I mean, God, they put us on TV with all that talent, and
Yeah.
we were just it was just shit was on, man. It was a lot of fun. I was like the seventh member.
Really? That soon. Wow. Yeah, you
Yeah.
worked alongside with Macho Man and Hogan.
Think about it, bro. Think about it. Hey, listen to this. Let me blow your mind. I have wrestled, not this don't count Owen Hart.
Yeah.
This don't count Dusty Rhodes because Dusty hired me. He didn't, I never wrestled him.
Yeah.
I've wrestled 80 plus dead guys.
Wow.
I mean, that's unbelievable, bro.
It is.
It really is. And I mean, this dark side of the ring and showing things are happening, and just it's just they got to do something about it. It's just I mean, keep in mind, if I've wrestled 80 guys, there's a lot of guys that have wrestled 80 guys, if not more. I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, it's just,
Well, you guys,
we just, do the best we can and
you
kept
guys
it
train.
going.
You guys train together. You guys eat together, travel together, and then all of a sudden they're gone.
Yes.
Family.
I mean, exactly like family. I mean, it was family. I mean, it's what it was. And that was a blast. I mean, it was just so much fun and like I said, that's what I think happened with Vince was I nobody gave me a chance to know me up at Vince's. WCW knew Marcus Alexander Bagwell.
Yeah.
That's my real name. And they knew Mark Bagwell.
Yeah.
Well, all of a sudden, I am put in this, um, you know, I turned to Buff, and then it was, ooh, did you hear what Buff said? I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't say anything fucking different than what Marcus said,
Yeah.
but it just, this business, it's this very, politics, and like I said, even the night I wrestled Booker T, I had to get a Sharpie and color in my hair where I wrestled Booker T on the main event Raw.
Yeah, we saw that.
And we had, keep in mind, why would I wrestle Booker T and then call up to take time off?
Yeah.
So it was just they didn't get a chance to really know me. They saw me on, the computer and believed everything they heard. And they were going to release me and bring me back. And, I knew what that meant. And that was the writings on the wall and see you later. But, I had a good run with All Stars of Wrestling with Andrew McManus. I think it was the name of the group, All Stars Wrestling.
I'm not too sure on that
I
one.
can't remember, but they were out of Australia.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, how he made his money was he promoted the Rolling Stones.
Really?
Yeah. So we did that, and the buildings went from 30,000 to 25 to 20 to to 18 to 15, it just same old. Then TNA opened.
Yeah.
And, so it was just more, just trying to get a pop and trying to, keep the business going,
Yeah. Well, you did a little bit of the indies as well after WWE as well,
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Big difference in the indies and television.
Oh, God. It's huge. It's a huge difference, bro.
Yeah.
Um, because, when you're Buff Bagwell and you're, at WCW, I'm a really, really, really laid back guy,
Yeah.
but at the same time, we're going to pretty much do what I say we're going to do, and unless they have a better idea,
Yeah.
and if they got a better idea, then I'm all for it. But nobody would want to speak up on matches. Nobody cared. And so I go, what about this? What about this and this? And we'll do that. And then we'll come back and do a hot tag and then, this and that and just make a match out of it,
Yeah.
And that's what we did, and then and then it went from me and Norton, and then I broke my neck.
Yeah.
And then, so me and Norton were Vicious and Delicious, and that was the first tag team I had. And then it was me and God, who was it first? Who was it? It was God. The first one was me and Scorpio.
Yeah. I read that.
Yeah, me and Scorpio, and we were tag team of the year and did really well. And then my second tag team was the American Males, Scotty Riggs.
I remember
And
that one.
we won the belts twice. And we also won it with Dale Wilkes.
Yeah.
And God rest his soul. Boy, what a great guy. I love him so much. And what a horrible loss,
Yeah.
I was just with him about a month or two before that on about a 4-day loop. And so, but that was going on and just having a good time. And the next thing you know, he's dead. And then you've got, then you've got, the NWO,
Yep. A lot of them are gone.
And then Dale, after me and Dale, it was me and Scotty Riggs, and then after that it was me and to make it right. So
But what did you enjoy more, the Stars and Stripes or the American Mills?
oh man, that's so tough, bro. I mean, what makes that tough is Scotty Riggs don't wrestle nothing like Scott. He don't wrestle nothing like the Patriot.
Yeah.
And so I had the same role. I was always the smaller guy with the ripped up, shredded body and buff and all that.
Yeah.
And so I always, it was always, heat on me and give the big man the tag. And, and every once in a while they let me have the tag and get the win, but it was very tough, very trying. And people think it was, easy, but it was very, very tough.
Yeah, I bet. It must be tough going from one partner to another and then to another because you got to work differently with each one of them, right?
Well, think about this for a minute. Think about this, and this is how I looked at it. How much does Lex Luger wrestle like Too Cold Scorpio?
How much?
Yeah,
Uh, I
not
don't
even
think
close.
no, he
Not
doesn't
even
even
close, right?
doesn't fly off the ropes or anything.
And how much does Scotty Riggs and Lex Luger wrestle alike? Not very much, if any, right?
Yeah,
So what it gave me is I had to adapt because they actually say 5-time world tag team partner, I mean champions
yeah,
with 5 different partners, and it's actually 6. And even Alexa, do you have an Alexa?
yeah,
Do you got one close?
no.
Okay. Because the next time you're around Alexa, go, Alexa, go, who is Buff Bagwell? And it'll go, Buff Bagwell is a former actor and professional wrestler at WCW since from 2001 to 2011, and where he was a six-time world tag team champion, and and just so I mean that's pretty cool. You're on Alexa,
Yeah,
so just I mean my face is on a Capital One credit card. I mean, these are things I'm very proud of and did, and at the same time, we had a lot to do, but I learned so much by wrestling different guys
yeah,
as my partner. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because they didn't wrestle nothing alike. So I had to adapt to make the tag team look like we're partners.
yeah,
And so we had me and Shane Douglas, and I wouldn't even have known this if there wasn't a picture of me holding Jeff Jarrett on my shoulder with Shane Douglas. But I've got the World Tag Team belt on.
yeah.
Shane's got the World Tag Team belt on, and Jeff Jarrett's got the World Heavyweight title on, and
Oh,
we've got him on our shoulder. That was number 6. So
wow.
I've got 6 World Tag Team titles with 5 different partners, and it just all it did for me is give me a chance to really, 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 broaden my wings and just get better and better at my craft.
Which created Buff Bagwell.
Yes, yes.
So where did the transformation come? Was that your idea to be
No, believe it or not, Nick Patrick.
really?
Yep.
Wow.
We're on the way home from Seattle, Washington, and he says, and it's nighttime. We're they got the lights off, because it's nighttime,
Yeah.
and we have a few lights on because everybody's trying to sleep. And of course, most of us are, getting drunk and having fun, and so he goes, um, he goes, well, in the background we hear, what about Buff? And I mean, it was dead silent.
Huh.
And it was Nick Patrick.
Wow.
And we just all looked over. Nobody said a word. And we go, what'd you say? And Nick goes, Nick, Buff Bagwell. I mean, that's perfect. And nobody, not one person said a name.
Yeah.
That was it. And it
Wow.
stuck. I got home and I airbrushed everything Buff,
Uh,
and he airbrushed everything, from Scotty. It was, he was him, and then before that, it was me and Scott Norton, Vicious and Delicious, and me and Riggs, the American Males, and so we had a lot of good outfits and a lot of good teams, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot by being able to, learn different styles and just learn different techniques of how guys do it.
Yeah. Was it hard to go from boxing to from amateur boxing into wrestling?
It really wasn't. It wasn't that hard at all. Uh, I was really, really good, dude. I was 12 years old and I was 61 and one.
Wow.
Yeah. And believe it or not, they call me Killer B. And so I go up to Chattanooga for the finals,
Yeah.
and we get up there, the Golden Glove State Championship, and I beat the guy, and so it was cool. It's just I was you know I was a boxer. I came out, jab, jab, right, jab. Well, these guys would come out going, they didn't know how to box. I had two older brothers, and they showed me and would teach me, and
Yeah.
so I became very good at it. Yeah, but I was 61 and one, dude.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so we had a lot of good fun, a lot of good fun, and um, Missy Hyatt was also a little part of that.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, I knew she got you into the wrestling, but I didn't
yeah,
know which part of the boxing.
yeah. I can't remember what it was now, but there was something where she was, just um just very cool, and we needed an announcer and a female announcer, and so it worked out great. So
Wow. What got you into wanting to do the wrestling instead of boxing then?
money.
Money?
Well, to be honest with you, it wasn't even money at first.
Yeah.
It was they went from weight to age.
Oh, okay.
And for my weight, I was pretty tough.
Yeah.
But for my age, I wasn't that big for my age. And so I started getting I started getting beat up. And so we were going to take a year off, and I was going to come back, and then we were going to, make it happen. And then, of course, by then it was, you know, um, girls and cars and sports, and it's just too much going on, man. Too much.
Yeah, it happens. Happens to the best of us.
Yeah, yeah, but I wouldn't take it back for nothing in the world. I had a great time doing it, and God, it would actually be something I'd like to explore again. Except, now these guys are badasses now. So this is back when, if you knew how to just punch, 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 and keep control, and just jab, jab, and do what your brother tells you,
Yeah.
you're good. And so
Wow. So you went from that, you went into wrestling. A year later, after you debuted in wrestling, you got put into WCW right away. That I've never heard of that before. A year later, doesn't it take years and years to train before you could go into a big company like that?
Oh yeah, yeah. But the deal was they were going to put me in wrestling school, and because I don't know how this rumor got out, I'm not sure it's true or not, but I wasn't going to argue the fact, but it just helped me out a lot. The rumor getting out that Vince wanted me,
Yeah,
and maybe he did. I don't know, but that was out there, and so um, I went from making $500 a week to go to school.
yeah.
And Barry Windham got hurt 2 days into school, and I signed a $225,000 contract
Wow.
at 20.
Wow, man.
So, so from that point on, it was just uphill, man. It was just, I learned more and more, and I went to school every day, and I got better and better, and just, made sure that we did it right.
Yeah. Well, I think you had a great career, and I do honestly hope you get into AEW at least.
Yeah, so do I, man. I'm really excited about it.
You think you'd be able to take another bump though?
Say again.
You think you'd be able to take another bump though?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is there's nothing wrong with me whatsoever except my right knee.
Yeah.
There's no my neck is 100%. My shoulders are 100%. As you can see, I'm 240. I'm back in shape. And but at the same time, you got to be able to run the ropes and all that. So it's going to take a little time, but I think without a shadow of a doubt, I'll be back, no doubt.
Oh, I hope so. Like I keep telling you, like I'm starstruck watching you, listening to your stories and stuff. Because again, you're my favorite. Like especially from NWO. Um, but not only as a wrestler anymore. We've had a few chats on the phone, which was amazing. I have to say this. Call out my cousin Jason or my brother Jason. What you did for him. He recently lost his friend, his best friend, and you phoned or I talked to you and you talked to him for 25 minutes on the phone.
Yes.
It,
Please, please, please do me a favor.
yeah,
Um, I, I never mess up like this, but I have either misplaced that paper, which I've never done,
yeah,
and or he didn't do it. And of course I'm sure he did, but I just need to make sure. And if you will, all he's got to do is just write down, the names he wants and how to spell them, and I'll give him up to 10. Just give me 10 names, and I will definitely get you guys 10 pictures sent out, and I'll send you guys my documentary too.
oh great, yeah, I'm sure he did it, but I'll let him know. He'll also be watching this, so but it was amazing because I sat there watching him and I had a big smile on my face because he was really
Oh, that's
depressed.
great.
He's older than me, but he's done so much for me in my life that watching you cheer him up the way you did, it was amazing. Like
That's great.
smile from ear to ear. You kept saying that you took the time out of your busy schedule for him, and that was amazing for him. Um, so yeah, before we let you go here, I put down people to ask any questions, but there was
Okay.
only one person who asked a question.
Okay.
A friend of mine, Kathy Sweeney Hunter, and I quote, this is a comment she left for you. I think you are one of the greats. You have awesome charisma and you are very talented. Always been one of my faves with a happy face.
Oh man, that's fantastic, man. That means a lot to me. Thanks. Tell her thanks so much. And along with the pictures that we're talking about,
Yeah.
would you please write that down and let me send her a picture too?
Yeah, I'll do that because she's friends with my other brother and I can give it
Yeah,
to her to give.
yeah. Just make sure that he gets all the ones he needs. But
Okay.
anybody else that calls between now and then, let's
Yeah.
just go and get them an 8x10 also.
Well, perfect. Thank you. So her questions, she's got a couple questions here.
Okay.
Who was your favorite opponent to wrestle and your least favorite?
Favorite opponent was probably Ric Flair.
Ric Flair?
Yeah, because I got to beat him, and that's unheard of. Nobody beats Ric Flair. You know,
Yeah.
nobody beats Ric Flair. So I was able to beat him, and I beat Roddy Piper the next day.
Wow.
So the next week, I'm in Atlanta. So I'm like, Dad, we've got him finally.
Yeah.
We finally got him against the ropes. I mean, man, we're going to go up against, I mean, we just beat Piper with my finish, and we just beat, Flair, and then just that's great. That's just superb.
Wow. So who would be your least favorite then?
Um, least favorite was God. I had a big guy, and big guys that are not very good are hard. You can't control them in the ring because they get nervous and they start fighting you. Like not meaning to or ugly,
Yeah.
but it just becomes kind of a circle jerk. It really does. And but he did that, and that was great. Um, uh, but at the same time, we had a good match going. But then we started getting off base, and then we had a hard time getting back on track. But he was a good guy. I liked him. He was green.
Yeah. Is there a lot of competition in the backstage? Like competing for the best spot to like a bunch of backstabbing and all that crap?
Oh God, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I bet there was, especially from like when Hogan, Nash, and Hall came back, there was probably a lot of fights and jealousy backstage.
Oh yeah, a lot, man, a lot. I mean, you got to realize, you know, there's guys that thought they were champs, and guys. I mean, keep in mind, I've never been world heavyweight champion. I've never been the TD champion.
Really? Oh, you wrestled Stone Cold for that, but
Yeah, but it went to a tie.
yeah.
And I mean, but then again, I'm a 6-time world tag team champion,
But you're still Buff Bagwell.
and I'm Buff Bagwell. So, you just go with it and enjoy it and just try to have fun with it, man.
Piper didn't need a heavyweight title. He was still great. You're still great. I say you had one of the best careers. Um, one more
Really appreciate
question.
it.
One more question from her. She asked, "Who would your Mount Rushmore of greatest wrestlers be?" Of course, you. You have to be on there.
Um, Ric Flair, of course.
Yeah,
Um, Harley Race.
yeah. You would.
Um, and Gosh, that's a toughie, man. It's a great question. But Harley Race and myself and uh,
There's so many out there.
it really is. But I think you got to go with Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
I mean, you really do. There's a lot. There's a lot. And so many guys are tag teams and
Yeah.
singles, but straight up guys that were just across the border.
Well, there were so many that weren't brought up as high as some of these other guys should have been that are so
Right,
great. Then you get some that aren't really that great. They're just by the name, you know what I mean?
right.
But anyways, I don't want to keep you too long because I know you've got a busy schedule. So is there any advice or anything you would like to say to your fans out there?
And I just, first of all, any chance you get, please go check out MarcusBuffBagwell.com. MarcusBuffBagwell.com. That's my website. It's got every single match that I've ever had on DVD. And there's 5 volumes. And there's a Me and Tuco volume. There's a American Male volume. There's where I was the fabulous Fabian was
Yeah.
my very first character. There was the handsome stranger, and so we just had to go after it and do the best we can, and had a lot of fun. So we had a good time.
That's great. Like I said, I love watching your career. I love watching you build up from being the tag team all the way to being Buff.
Right.
I love the storylines with your mom involved.
Yes.
A lot of people,
She was over, man.
yeah, she was. She did awesome.
She did great.
Like, I love the Judy Bagwell on the pole match.
Yes.
That was Your mom was amazing. Like
Yeah. She really pulled it off really good. I mean, and she just did a great job.
Yeah,
I actually had her a $300,000 deal, and we landed from Nassau. Um, and when we landed, she was her appendix burst.
yeah,
So straight to the hospital, and with live TV, you can't keep that going. So we had to act like me and Scotty snuck in and beat her up.
oh, really?
Yeah, but I had a $300,000 deal for her, man, and she had,
Wow.
so it was a rough deal.
Well, she was a great sport though. Like
She was
being a
really great.
pilot.
She
Yeah,
didn't complain at all, and she just was a great. I mean, like I said, I went to toy dealerships and I'd walk up to they wanted to know what some new toys they could come up with for Buff Bagwell.
yeah.
And so I go, okay, so okay, first question, and they go, when can we use Judy Bagwell? And I was like, I'm not real sure. Next question. I was just wondering if we could use Judy Bagwell as a t-shirt. And I was like, oh, are you kidding me? I mean, I'm the star here. What the heck, man? But I also was happy for her.
Yeah,
But the appendicitis, they didn't know the appendicitis had already, it burst, and so she was out, and plus that she was 60. My mom was taking diamond cutters at 60, bro.
wow.
That's when Canyon. Remember when Canyon was sneaking around hitting everybody with a diamond cutter,
Yeah,
and because Dallas was hurt, I think, and but it still worked good, and it was a great setup.
Yeah, your mom was amazing. Real good sport, real good actress.
Yes, she did great, man. I was real proud of her.
Yeah, I would be too. Um, okay, so with that, I would like to thank you. I don't want to keep you too much longer.
No, man, thank you so much for just being so cool and great. You had great questions, and just to be on your podcast, it means a lot to me. It means so much to me, um, and like I said, if you want to do it again, we're more than happy to. I'd love to do it again with you, and if you want to, and it just have a good time, man. Just
Yeah.
have a good time, and we'll have a little bit of different setup. Maybe I could even have me and my mom on the next
Yeah,
meeting.
I
Set
would
up
love
something
that.
like that.
I'll have my brother here so he can actually meet you face to face as well.
Yeah,
That he would love that.
yeah, absolutely,
But no, I'm for surely gonna keep in contact with you. I've got your number. Uh,
bro. You got my number. I'm so easy to reach, and that's
yeah.
why I give my number, because I don't have nobody, and I'm really easy to reach, and just like with stupid ass Kiwi. I mean, if he thinks I got something to hide,
Yeah.
um, I mean, all he's got to dial is those numbers, which he still hasn't,
Yeah.
and I'll save him a trip to the mailbox. I'll meet him at the mailbox,
Yeah.
and then beat him up at the mailbox, and then put him back in his car and put it in drive and let it watch off, and hopefully catch on fire and burn. So, I don't give a shit about Kiwi. He's gonna run his mouth about me. He can get fucked.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about it, to be honest with you.
Oh, I don't blame you. One question I have: where can I get a Buff Bagwell top hat?
Oh, dude, that's a toughie. That's keep in mind, there's a reason why we didn't make top hats and the wrestling business, because how many dads are going to buy their sons $500 top hats?
Yeah, true.
Not too not too many. I mean, by the time this hat is done the way it's done right now,
Yeah.
um, like I would not even sell this hat for $500, because all I got to do is turn around and put $500 into getting it another one made again.
Yeah.
So but I have sold a top hat for $5,000 once.
Wow.
I thought the guy was joking, and I was being a smart ass. And I said, look, dude, I hear that all the time. And he goes, no, man, really, what do you think for it? I go, $5,000.
Wow.
He counted out $5,000 right there. And I took my hat off right there and handed them to him right there.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That
it
that's
was,
amazing. Well,
it was a real big deal.
yeah, I bet that's an honor for you as well.
Absolutely. And keep in mind, there's nobody that can wear the top hat, bro.
No,
Nobody can ever wear the top hat ever again.
no, they don't.
Because if they do, it's going to be, oh, that's that top hat that Buff Bagwell guy wore.
Yeah.
It ain't never going to be theirs.
No.
I've got something that nobody's got, and that's a top hat, man. And nobody ever thought about putting a top hat on. I just came up with different ideas, and the overalls, and
Yeah.
just different things to keep me alive while I was, going through my broke neck. And I lost 50 pounds during that broke neck.
Wow.
And then I get all the way back up to 263. And then Scotty gets shredded. And I go, Scotty, God dang, bro. So I went from 263 to 228 in 4 weeks.
Wow.
And I was So when you can see yourself on TV and you're not happy with yourself, you're willing to, do whatever it takes to get back in shape.
Yeah, Triple H did that.
Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah, because he was starting to get the belly, and he realized it, and all of a sudden he came back pretty ripped,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
pretty cool. A lot of working out though.
yeah. It is a lot of work. So it's a whole lot of work.
Yeah, but anyways, we will leave it with that. I will for sure keep in contact with you again because I'm
Bro,
itching to chat.
I'm so easy. I'm so easy. All you gotta do is give me a shout. And like I said, marcusbuffbagwell.com is
Yeah,
my website. You got my personal home phone number. In case you didn't get the first time, it's 404-844-9561. You're more than welcome to give me a call anytime and just chit chat.
yeah. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate, and it's you don't understand how much of an honor it is to be able to call you my friend. Like,
Well, thank you so much. It means a lot to me. Just make sure your friend, your brother sends me out those names.
yeah,
And I'll pick the different, cool different 8x10s. But
okay,
all he's got to do is send me, 8 to 10 to 12. It don't got to be no, I don't care how many there is. I mean, 8, 10, 12, 15. But just including that girl,
yeah,
I need the correct spellings,
okay,
and then I will pick what I think needs to go on what 8x10.
okay, perfect. Yeah, she'll be amazed. Like, when I mentioned that I was chatting with you, she was the first one to comment and how happy she was. So
That's great.
you
That's
still
great.
got it with the ladies.
That's great. That's fantastic.
Anyways, again, thank you so much, Buff, Mr.
Hey man,
Bagwell.
thank you so much, brother.
I really appreciate it. I love you, man. This has been the greatest. With that, I want to say thank you to everybody for watching. This is my most favorite one of them all. I hope it's yours. I hope you enjoyed. And always remember, I got you in the sight of my wild eye. Thank
I
you.
like it.